Clothe Child happened in a 1-week time period, and we would schedule 2 to 3 events, and that would encompass our elementary school kids typically on one night and middle school kids on another night. And during that time, it would move. We had tried doing it during Christmas time, and there was needs being met there. But then we had also found that there's a lot going on during that time, and so we shuffled to the beginning of the school year because of all the asks that were coming in to help kids be ready to start their school year. And so it was this constant shuffle. Are we meeting the greatest need, and when should this program happen? We have pivoted the program to be a all-year running program, and we shop as needed. Families can shop as a family unit. And then it also allows us to be able to allow people to shop when they have the greatest need. From July to August, we had over 70 applicants in that time period before school started. There's a huge ask and a huge need, and it definitely fluctuates throughout the year.
When my son was right at about 2 years old, we learned that he had autism. I had learned about the Croc Center because they had a lot of really great younger, like preschool programs. I first started going there because I needed a place for him to run around freely and safely, but I also found out there's something called childcare. And so I was able to get a couple of hours a week of honestly, I just read a book and I was in front of the fireplace over in the coffee shop.
Violet reached out towards the end of last school year. It was going to be a temporary loss of income, but they knew that Nico was going to be starting kindergarten.
We're always having to buy him, things for his autism. We had to buy him a sensory vest. We had this fun little chair. And so my husband makes decent money, but it's all going, into things that Nico needs for enrichment and for him. I knew that I was going to need to get a little bit of help so that he didn't feel like the odd one out wearing the clothes that don't match, that just don't work out, because that was my childhood. We had no money and it looked like it, and we got bullied a lot. It's really hard to just get secondhand clothes if it doesn't feel right, whether it's the texture or the face or it's overwhelming in design. It really can dysregulate him. We don't take him shopping very often because he's very hands-on. And I let Jules know, are you sure we can do this? Do I need to bring in some supports? She's like, no, they'll be fine. And I'm telling you, we worked with Kip and a really sweet lady. I think her name was Sandy. I think she used to be a kindergarten or preschool teacher at some time. And it showed, because the patience this woman had with my son was incredible.
Because they got to have some really great conversations with Kip and their volunteer, they expressed how much there was some nerves around Nico starting school. Our director, Kip, just mentioned hey, have you ever thought about having Nico try out something like camp? We have camps coming up. They're going to be registering soon. We were able to utilize one of our Croc scholarships and provide Nico his first week of camp.
I said, look, he has autism. Are you guys going to be able to handle this? He's got ADHD. And they said, sure, we'll give it a try. And I said, okay, let's give this a try. And he did beautifully. Emma was amazing on the team with him. I just couldn't believe how much she understood his behavior to not be choice, but just reaction, more of a symptom of what's going on inside of him. She was so patient with us. It was incredible.
Because Nico stepped into this Clothe Child experience, his experience walking in the doors down the road into kindergarten got to be a little bit easier.
That $100, I swear, God just planted it, and it just went. It tenfold, 100-fold almost. And it's just been wonderful. What I love about the Croc Center is not what they give us materially, but what I love is that it's what it's giving me in knowing my son is safe.
When Violet emailed, she said that it shouldn't be called Clothe a Child. It should be called Love a Child, because of how well her kiddo felt loved through both experiences.
I just love that people are more understanding and open as a whole in society, but I see it more at the Croc Center, and I think it's because they have the love of Jesus in them. You can see Christ's love through how people handle children that are different. Not broken, just different.